Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. And we're on our new platform. Now, if you haven't noticed, hopefully you didn't have, a lot of difficulty in figuring it all out. Basically, the gist of our new format, I think, is you reset your password. Right? Isn't that... If you're having trouble, you reset your password.
We're still having issues with the Android app and Roku, I believe. Roku has kind of settled itself down. But still
it settled itself.
Android.
Nobody fixed it. It settled down by itself.
We just have Android issues right now.
I love it when those things have a mind of their own. That's
best
cool.
I can tell.
Okay. Password reset. Most people are having issues because they're hitting the link multiple times, but opening the old emails, so the code is invalid. Perfect. So click it again and wait for the email before clicking again. If you still have issues, then direct message us on Twitter or email support@blazetv.com. And we'll generate a custom link for you to reset.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
So at Blaze TV, you could direct message. You had the email address you just said. What was it? Support@blazetv.com. There's also an 1-800 number on there.
800-282-2788. 282-2788. You can go to blazetv.com.
Yeah, you could watch it on the browser if you're having trouble logging in there.
Right.
That'll work for you, blazetv.com. So we're apologizing for the issues, the technical snafus that we're having here, but
eventually the experience is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think because I'm in the same boat as everybody else with the Android app. Right now, there's nothing going on there.
It's not working there.
But we hope to get that resolved very, very soon.
But you can interact with the show as we go along. You can comment, and that keeps scrolling down if you wanted to, or you can take that off.
A lot of fun new features.
Yeah, really cool. So hopefully you're going to love it eventually when you get used to it and when it becomes second nature just to get on it. Coronavirus outbreak.
Under control? We're done? It's all over? Everybody's healing?
It's fine.
Okay, good.
It's fine.
Good.
Well, not totally fine, but I mean pretty close. There's just maybe a shortage of 150 drugs right now because they all are manufactured in China, and that's
see, that's another issue. Like, I don't want my drugs manufactured in China. We had this story, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's an issue in of itself.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if this will make us rethink where we manufacture all the goods. Will these companies think, geez, okay, this is a bad idea. I'm going to open up a factory in the United States of America. I hope it prompts some of that.
Like I said, if nothing else comes out of the coronavirus outbreak, I'm sorry, COVID-19, it's that regimes like the communist leadership in China fall. Maybe a greater good happens,
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, threatening the shortage of 150 prescription drugs, several with no alternatives. China's role, I wish I'd list them so I could see,
let's see here.
How many of them I'm dependent upon.
Okay. Yeah.
and others. It does include antibiotics, generics, branded brands. It's pretty widespread, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll find a list and we'll put it on Twitter at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
And all of this, again, outside of China, almost, well, in Iran, I guess, had 50 deaths in one city, didn't they? But, here in the United States, we shouldn't even be, this is not something to panic over. The stock market should not be crashing.
Over 1,000
Went down
points.
1,000 points yesterday, 1,000 plus. And there's no need to panic here. I heard Rush yesterday describe it as the common cold. It might be a little more serious than that, but the mortality rate is incredibly low. It's only 3%. It's 3%. The flu is higher than that. More people die because they slip in the bathtub. More people have vending machines fall on top of them and squish them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's a fun fact.
Right. Oh, I'm not positive on it. I'm just kind of throwing out a wild.
I kind of wanted to go there. I like that one. So
since you took it so seriously, I thought, maybe I better rethink that.
No, I'm going to start. I'm going to go to the water cooler later today and go, did you know that more vending machines attack and kill innocent people than have died of the coronavirus?
I mean, that's a pretty cool statistic, right?
Yeah. You just don't verify it. Just trust me. I heard it on Pat
Don't do too much thinking about it.
Yeah, listen to this guy, Pat Gray Unleashed in the morning. He's got all the facts.
I'm going to look right now.
That's what I'm doing.
People die
vending machine deaths.
Vending.
Okay, you do that. I'm just doing 25 shocking things more likely to kill you than a shark. Oh, it made it on that list.
Okay, an average of 2.18 per year. Okay, so far, less people have died in the United States of vending machine accident. It is a true fact in the U.S.
So far.
The
numbers are still coming in from the precincts,
Right,
we don't know.
That's with about half of 1% of precincts reporting.
When it's all said and done, it could very well be that vending machines are
more deadly.
But we don't know right now. It's incomplete data.
Here's a good website, or a good article on a website. 11 mundane objects that are statistically deadlier than sharks.
Yeah, that's what I landed on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Beds. Okay, people. Balloons.
Okay. Hold on, I got to go back here.
Ladders. There's 113 ladder-related fatalities in the United States every year. Okay, so that's by far deadlier than coronavirus in the U.S.
Hold on, are you in the article that has the cow at the top? I just want to make sure. Oh, really?
No.
Because I got one that talks about coconuts falling on your head.
Really?
Yeah, because remember, the same premise here about things that are more deadly than shark attacks. Falling coconuts cause about 150 deaths annually.
No.
And it says
that's amazing.
Yeah, and it says, while you were keeping an eye on the sharks.
I like that. I like that stat.
So we can post this. It was fun. We got mosquitoes, right? 800,000 people a year.
For sure, mosquitoes.
Good
My
night.
gosh. Yeah, the death rate from mosquitoes and malaria is really high in Africa. Televisions.
Okay.
Shark Week is happening right now, but you might want to download it because 29 people, this is back in 2011, 29 people were killed by falling TVs.
Oh, no.
It's not funny, but it's just weird.
You got to get a thin one.
Yeah.
A nice light one. High school football injuries, 12 lives annually on average.
Wow.
High school, college football? Wow.
Lawnmowers, of course. 75 citizens a year.
Oh, my goodness.
Vending machines, as I mentioned. Swing sets.
Pat.
Staircases.
Pat. Champagne corks kill almost 24 people per year.
Stop it.
And it has a hyperlink. Let me see.
Because it comes out so fast and hits you in the temple or something?
This is so that link to a
weird.
Daily Mail article that says champagne corks, inflatable elephants, too much Viagra. The new book revealing the very unlikely ways some people meet their maker. That's how I'm going. Some crazy, the coconut guy. I have the coconut fall on my head while I'm looking out over the ocean for sharks. Exactly. What else you got? Tripping? 6,000 people die from tripping and falling at home each year. 3,000 deaths caused by whatever you're eating for lunch. Like you choke on something here. Raw meat, 5,000. Cows kill. Oh my gosh, they fought back on Beto when he was trying to get him to do stuff for him. Cows cause the death of about 20 Americans each year. Mostly from blunt force trauma.
So cows running into people? I've never heard of a cow person fatality. I've never heard of that. It's usually the cow that succumbs. And then is cooked and eaten.
I'm going to post this. It's fun stuff here. Well, I mean, if death is fun. But there you go. This
vending machine, I'm looking at a new list now.
Okay.
And this vending machine total is a lot higher. Vending machines kill 13 people a year by falling on top of them. Okay, so we're way above 2.18. 13 a year.
Wow. Maybe they've just gotten angrier. Maybe vending machines over the years. Maybe you're looking at old numbers.
Selfies. 12 people succumb to the fatal attraction of selfies every year.
Okay.
If you fall out of bed. Oh, volcanoes, of course, kill an average 762 people a year. 762.
Wow. We are easily distracted is the moral of this story.
Hot tap water kills people?
Let's see, now, it can't get hot enough for me. Oh, my goodness. Showers, I have to have piping hot. And I've had an issue with, I got to have a talk with my hot water heater. It's just not getting, the water's just not getting hot anymore. It's making me mad.
I love this description. You know that feeling when scalding hot water dumps on you in the shower and you feel like you're dead? Well, 34 people know that feeling all too well because it killed them.
Wow.
How could hot water I mean, what do you have to stand under there until you're scalded to death?
Well,
don't you move?
I've got a theory on that, and
That's weird.
Very sad. Yeah.
Really?
It probably involves kids.
Maybe.
You probably draw a bath and then they fall in.
Or elderly.
Something, yeah.
And the damn elephant deaths. When are we going to stop the slaughter of people by elephants? When are we going to stop it?
Yeah, right?
That's got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay.
That list, if you do want to...
I love that list. We should tweet that out.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I don't know if we're doing the same one. But,
Glad we stumbled onto that. That might become a whole show one day.
Bad ways to go.
Yeah. That's really interesting. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Joe Biden had a little trouble yesterday. Just a little. You know, he's the comeback kid. I don't know if you're aware of that. But Bill Clinton lost the first 12 primaries, and he came back. Joe's going to do the same without losing the first 12. Actually, Clinton, as we explained last week, did not lose the first 12, but came pretty close to that. It was like one out of 12 in the first primaries for him.
Thank you, Georgia.
So anyway, here's Joe Biden talking about voting for, well, he'll explain it.
You're the ones that sent Barack Obama the presidency.
Uh-huh.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. Give me a look, though, okay?
What? That's a lot to unpack there.
If not, vote for the other Biden.
Go vote for the other
How many Bidens are running in this race?
Oh, his surviving son might be running.
Okay. Huh. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Didn't see him at the debate.
And what office is Joe running?
Let's see this again. Now, listen carefully. And there's a lot to soak in. Again, Joe Biden.
And you're the ones that sent Barack Obama the presidency. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
No.
Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. Give me a look, though, okay?
Okay, give him a look for U.S. Senate. I'm willing to have him do that. Go ahead. Yeah, look at him for Senate. I don't mind that, really.
Delaware?
Delaware's
the ball is in your court.
Yeah, they're going to elect some other Democrat senator, so they might as well elect Joe Biden. Why not? And if not, look at the other Biden and take a look at him. It's either, it might not even be Hunter. It might be like Tito, Marlon, or Jermaine Biden.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Jermaine Biden is kind of underrated, if you ask me.
I think he is.
Because it's a liberal family, but Jermaine, he's more libertarian, and I appreciate that.
Tito just has kind of a flair about him. You know, he's non-conforming. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
So, Joe's having a tough time. He doesn't even know if he's running for U.S. Senate or the President of the United States. Doesn't know that there's no other Biden running for office right now.
That's just rough.
It's tough. It's almost sad.
It is
I
sad.
almost feel bad for him.
A lot of this stuff is sad because, I mean, yes, we can't stand them as politicians. All right, him and Nancy Pelosi and folks like that. But to watch them, especially in a public setting, lose their faculties is
sad.
really not fun to see.
It's a frightening thing. All right, let me take 60 seconds, tell you about Genesis 950. If you're thinking of replacing carpets, because you got all kinds of pet stains and, you know, it's smelly, first, please try Genesis 950. This can get all those stains out of your carpeting. We were pretty much at the point where we thought, we got to tear this up and replace it. And Genesis 950 came into our life. And it was shocking how well it removes those stains. With water, Genesis 950 breaks down the bonds of stains and odors, so they're gone for good. Antibacterial component removes pet stains and odors from carpeting and padding. And it can be used in a carpet cleaning machine. So green, it's safe for your family and your pets. So if you're tired of cleaners that you've been promised the world and they just don't deliver, it's time to buy Genesis 950. 1 gallon of industrial strength Genesis 950 can make up to 7 gallons of cleaner. It is awesome, and it really does work. Before you buy new carpet because of stains, try Genesis 950 first. It's available on Amazon.com. But if you order a gallon direct at Genesis950.com, you'll receive a free spray bottle and a discount using the code BLAZE. Genesis950.com, offer code BLAZE.
Pat Gray.
From Jeffy's missing OEA. So vending machines kill people. Let's get to the important fact on how many vending machines has Jeffy killed.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And by the way, TV's Rob down the hall. He wants you to know that more people get hurt trying to play cricket in the hallways than
that's a good line.
Shark. Yeah. So if you missed it, go to @PatUnleashed on Twitter, and you will see this man right here, Pat Gray, playing cricket in the hallway yesterday.
Whiffed one quite badly. And then I just did an amazing acting job where it looked like
it was good acting. It looked real.
It did look real. It was an Academy Award performance.
Painful, but I'm glad to know that you were on the you're in the injury list for all of 2 seconds, and then you're back to playing. So you're in there. Sprung
right back up.
Yeah. So if you missed the video, make it worth Pat's while because he wants the clicks because that was a. Yeah. That was a sacrifice for you, Pat Heads.
It was.
Go to @PatUnleashed. Look for that.
888-900-3393. Despite China's claim that the coronavirus was traced back to a market in Wuhan that sold live animals so you could eat them, like bats and snakes. There's been rumblings now that the disease escaped from a biology lab or was part of a biological warfare experiment.
Wait, so China not being sincere?
Completely honest? Huh. Who saw that coming?
No.
So Tom Cotton has probably been the loudest voice in promoting that theory. Now, a new report from the New York Post points to evidence that suggests Cotton's theory may be more fact than fiction. According to the Post, after Chinese President Xi Jinping recently warned about the need to prevent similar viral outbreaks in the future, the Chinese Ministry of Science and Technology released a new document titled Instructions on Strengthening Biosecurity Management in Microbiology Labs that Handle Advanced Viruses like the novel coronavirus.
I'm sorry, the what virus?
The
COVID-19, sir?
Oh, yeah, right.
Please.
Wow, that's the Chinese being
xenophobe.
hateful against themselves.
What are you doing?
Additionally, there's only one microbiology lab in China capable of handling the deadly coronavirus, and that's the one that is part of the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That means the only Chinese lab capable of safely handling the disease is located in the epicenter.
I mean, that's just the ironic twist, right? Like that just...
Not only that, didn't we find out it's like blocks away or like one block?
300 yards from the market where they sell wild animals.
It's just unbelievable.
Yep. But again, it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence.
Yes.
This lab would be right there where the outbreak started. Just weird.
The fact that China's top biological warfare expert, Major General Chen Wei, was dispatched last month to accelerate containment efforts also suggests that the outbreak's origin is more nefarious than the Chinese government has admitted. The evidence points to SARS-CoV-2 research being carried out at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The virus may have been carried out of the lab by an infected worker or crossed over into humans when they unknowingly dined on a lab animal. Whatever the vector, Beijing authorities are now clearly scrambling to correct the serious problem with the way their labs handle deadly pathogens. It's about time. I mean, they've been so careless all this time. And now all of a sudden, oh, okay. Maybe you should take some precautions there with deadly disease.
Goodness.
Cotton has been not so coy about his belief, and we've talked about that multiple times. Last Friday, the Arkansas senator said the Chinese government is lying to the world about this deadly matter. The potential for global pandemic still remains high as the coronavirus has now infected a significant number of people in Italy, opening the door for a European outbreak. Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
That's fun. That's really fun.
That's good.
And then, of course, we had that really strange 50 people dead in one place in Iran. I mean, so there are some serious places where things are flaring up. But again, in the United States, how many are... I need to look at that number. How many are infected in the U.S.? Because last I saw it was 15. It may be beyond that now, but not by much. And no one in the United States has died from the disease.
We have 53 cases currently.
53 now?
In the United States. 36 were from that ship.
Okay.
So what does that knock it down to? About 16, 17 or so? Yeah, 17.
That got it here in America.
Yeah, that aren't related. Because I remember most of those outside of that, let's see, had traveled back from China, right? So, anyhow, it looks like mostly along the West Coast.
And I read that one of the first people who got it in the U.S. is fully recovered, doesn't have it anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Just moved on with his life. So that's nice. I mean, that's great. Still no deaths in the United States.
Correct.
Please don't panic.
Yeah, we got one in San Antonio, one in Tempe, Arizona, one in San Diego, L.A., San Benito, Sacramento, Santa Clara, and then up the coast.
And then are they mostly keeping people at military bases?
That I don't know. But it's
I think
all
they're
of
quarantining them at military bases.
And all of these suggest, if you know of these one person in each of these areas, obviously the public knows, and it's not a multiple number. So
right.
It seems like they're all contained because other than that ship, all of the reported cases in America are isolated to one. And then that's a married couple, I think, in Chicago.
Oh, right.
And that's it.
The wife came home and infected her husband.
Yeah.
He must be pissed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what?
Told you, woman, you were going to be the death of me. I knew it.
You can keep ringing that bell. I'm not coming back there. I'm not bringing you anything. You make your own chicken soup.
Again, some simple precautions can really help you.
What are some tips? Some
wash your hands.
Hot tips.
Wash your hands.
Wait.
It's a hot tip. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands?
And then don't touch other people's hands or other people's anything for that matter.
Or as the Ebola song says, don't touch others.
People's poop or pee. Yeah.
And it's
a good safety tip.
Right. And on this program, what we do is we try to help. We try to serve the public. And we give you hot tips like, wash your hands. Save the universe.
Don't touch other people's, waste product. So that would be...
It's seriously that simple.
It's about that easy. And don't get sneezed on, and you're going to be fine.
Oh, don't get sneezed on. Now you're throwing me a curveball.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Okay.
Also, the big news yesterday, Harvey Weinstein was in fact convicted on some of the counts, including rape. He was cleared of, I guess, the most serious charges. How much more serious can you get than rape?
Right.
Wow. There's some kind of predatory thing if you're chasing after him or whatever. But he was convicted of rape and sexual assault against two women, and could be sent to prison for decades.
Yeah, between 5 and 29 years, I think I saw.
I don't think they're going to be lenient with him. Doesn't seem like it. They found him not guilty, did the jury, on the most serious charge, predatory sexual assault that could have resulted in life in prison. Wow. So the most damaging he was convicted of, he could be sentenced up to 29 years, as I think you just mentioned.
Okay.
And apparently he looked resigned to the whole thing. He must have known. Maybe his lawyers got him set for that.
He's 67 years old.
Yep.
So
he may die in prison.
Very well could be a life sentence regardless. Yeah.
Right. The verdict follows weeks of often harrowing and excruciatingly graphic testimony. And I think they had photos too, right? Photos of him and his private parts, which apparently weren't pleasant to look at.
Apparently not.
I certainly wouldn't want to have been on that
Judging
jury.
by the descriptions
icky.
on the looks of the faces of the jurors,
it
wasn't a good time for
did
anybody.
not look pleasant. A string of accusers told of rapes, forced oral sex, groping, pleasuring himself, lewd propositions, all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's pretty obviously not a nice guy. But the strange part comes in, okay, they were raped and then they had relationships with him afterwards.
Yeah.
Openly and willingly had sex with him. Both of these women afterwards. That's just so weird to me. I don't.
Yep.
Although the experts, I guess, testified that it's not that unusual. It happens a lot when they go on to have relations with the person who raped them. That seems, I don't know. It's hard to believe. They called him Jekyll and Hyde. He could be incredibly charming at first, making jokes, showing interest, and using his power to help their careers. But that was just an act, they said, meant to gain their trust and get them in a place like a hotel or an apartment where he could violate them. If he heard the word no, it was like a trigger for him. But based on what Jeffy has said, Jeffy watched the trial extensively. He seems to believe they didn't say no, that they were just worried about that, power dynamic. And so he told the women, you never make it in this business. This is how this industry works. Gotta sleep with me or you can't get in the movie. I mean, that's pathetic. And, some pretty big actresses testified against him. I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow testified in this one, but she claims that she was assaulted by him, too. Annabella Sciorra testified that she was raped by him. And then after the fact, his former secretary, who claims that she was sexually assaulted, sent flirtatious emails like, miss you, big guy.
Whoa. And
I love you, always do. But I hate feeling like a booty call. Wouldn't that give you pause right there? I don't know.
I don't know if that was one of the ones part of the conviction. Obviously.
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the women that was raped, and then.
And that's
okay. It's a very strange thing.
I just can't understand that mindset. By the way, after the conviction, that he was taken to the hospital.
Yeah, that's right. He had a chest pain or something.
I'm sure he did. I hope he's okay.
Well, and look at it. He has to move around with a walker
and a Target shopping cart, if you recall. Anyhow, apparently, a source said he was faking it a little bit.
Oh, the chest pain too.
Yeah. You got to know that you've been convicted. It doesn't matter. Do you want to go hang out at a hospital or prison? Either way, you're not free, man.
No, that's not going to work for him.
But yeah, he's okay, they said.
Whew. What a relief. Whew, that was a close one. Yeah, dodged a bullet there.
Potted plants everywhere. Breathe a sigh of relief.
All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We'll take a look at the president's trip to China.
Boy, they love him over there, man.
Oh, my gosh. I wasn't aware of that until this trip started. And they said you're going to have adoring crowds everywhere you go.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I'm not being serious, but I absolutely am being serious. When World War III comes, you want India on your side for multiple reasons. And I'm just so glad that our president is how many places is he not popular? India, apparently, that may be his biggest fans around the world.
Yeah, it's amazing. 888-900-3393. From Lori D. We get this tweet at Pat Unleashed. Obviously, Pat's never been cow tipping. Pretty dangerous, I suppose, because if they tip over on you, see, they weigh a lot. It's like if Jeffy would fall over on you, except not quite that bad. I mean, let's not get carried away.
I mean, it is in the same, I guess, ballpark, but you're right, not quite as intense.
Right.
I am surprised with how intimate Beto O'Rourke likes to be with cows that he hasn't befallen some sort of injury or death.
Yeah, very dangerous stuff. The Steve 42. Do you really have to try really hard to die from too much Viagra? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Nations Under. The selfie death is the only serious argument for Darwin's theory by natural selection I've ever heard. Spunky teacher, guarantee it's the vending machines with AI. You know, the ones that order replacement food, drinks, candy on their own.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
From Scotty Sweatman. Maybe Joe Biden was talking about his new grandson in Arkansas. You know, the other Biden. A little young to run, though, I think. Yeah, there's a love child there.
Okay.
Landed the fleek? Wait, how did you just gloss over the phrase, they unknowingly dined on a lab animal? I feel like the word you're looking for is, ick.
I've got to admit, when you originally said that line, I didn't pick it up. So thanks for all the folks tweeting about that.
Yeah, TechRoo also tweets, unknowingly dined on a lab animal? Sentences that should not exist.
How does that happen? Like, you just
I don't know.
Do you go to the break room at the biohazard lab and you're just like, hey, what do we got in here? You know? As
Stoning Duck tweeted, you're in that scenario and then you see it and you're like, Chinese lab animal. Yum. That dinner bell is ringing now.
That'll learn you. That'll teach you from eating your coworkers' leftovers.
If you missed it, it's from it's the part of the story of the Post. The evidence about the coronavirus points to SARS-CoV-2 research being carried out at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The virus may have been carried out of the lab by an infected worker or crossed over into humans when they unknowingly dined on a lab animal.
Full stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's a good restaurant where you can find good Chinese lab animal to dine on. You can't get that just anywhere.
Yeah, why is the menu here? I mean, their lunch specials are to die for. Wait, no. There we go. Maybe we should have planned that better. I didn't even write that one.
Why don't you go ahead and...
So there's a restaurant just outside the lab, and their lunch specials are to die for. All I was trying to say before I unwittingly told a joke, and now that joke is stupid and doesn't measure up to that one, so let's just move on.
All right.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you ahead, though?
I'm going to just quit.
Okay.
So, but seriously, I don't understand that sentence. I mean, do you knowingly? Like, that would mean that there are times where you do eat animals in the lab.
That would mean...
Just this time you ate from the wrong stack.
Apparently that means when the lab is done using them, they sell the animals into the market, people, right?
Sweet
Isn't that what that means?
I guess.
That's the only way it could happen, is if...
I don't know. I want...
Is if you... But what I think is a more likely scenario is one of the people from the lab came out, with whatever it was on him, and then he passed it to the meat in the market.
Because remember, we had the caller to the show that said they were bringing, I guess if this is a level 4 disease, someone brought a level 3, like a bunch of vials on a suitcase in their luggage.
In a really haphazard way, all the way to the United States.
Here in the United States.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
But the TSA, right? The TSA will take my daughter's key ring.
Yeah.
Because it's got too pointy of an end. But we're allowing hazardous materials. Just come on, wave them through. Here we go. All right. What? I mean,
it's amazing.
Do not understand anything.
Well, how many times have they tested the TSA and like 90% of the time they get weapons through it, through the security?
Yeah, it's in that range, always in the 90s.
Yeah, it's terrible. They're not protecting us, and that's why all the lemmings, all of the sheep who just say we need to do this. No, we don't. They're keeping us safe. No, they're not. This is just a massive inconvenience, an incredible hassle, and they're not getting anything accomplished. They're not serious about it. So I doubt there ever will be.
Just to recap, pointy keychains, bad. Okay. Hazardous bioweapons, good. When you're trying to get through the TSA. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you. While President Trump has been buoyed by polls showing that he's favored to win re-election against a generic Democrat, potential ticket teaming Bernie Sanders as the presidential nominee with Elizabeth Warren as the running mate, according to a new poll, would beat Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Zogby Analytics, Jonathan Zogby, told this website that a Sanders-Warren ticket is beating the president and Vice President Pence 48-45. Make no mistake, this is a close race, but the senators from neighboring New England states are able to pull ahead of Trump and Pence by winning with their base and swing voters.
You believe that? Sanders-Warren?
I don't know.
Sanders-Warren.
I mean, they're both socialists.
That seems way too left.
Way too left. Even for most Democrats, I hope. I mean, as I was saying it, I was thinking, that's probably not. That's probably not true. It's probably just fine with most Democrats. Sanders and Warren could win the popular vote, but Trump and Pence still have the advantage of the coalition of working class and blue-collar voters they made within swing states like Ohio, Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So we'll see. But again, how is it possible that Americans are okay with socialism and Marxism? How did this happen? How did we get to this place? It's incomprehensible to me. Capitalism took the poverty rate on this planet from 90% in the 1800s. 90% of the world were in abject poverty. It's now 10%. Capitalism did that. At the same time, Marxism brought about the deaths of over 100 million people in the last century alone. It is what has brought once prosperous Venezuela to its knees. It's made tens of thousands of political prisoners in Cuba and elsewhere. And it completely stopped, like we talked about yesterday, it completely stopped the progression of that country, of Cuba. Wake up to what socialism is and what socialism does. It's frightening.
Yeah. And Bernie Sanders still saying Castro early on was good. Yeah, you know. I mean,
he doubled down on it.
He's not backing down at all.
Crazy. I mean, that it's probably past time, but we should have played some clips from the CBS 60 Minutes interview on Sunday night. He's nuts.
It's like Obama snuck in there because not talking about talk radio, not talking about this audience, but America writ large just didn't care. They just liked the packaging, right? They didn't want to investigate. They didn't want to know about the church. They didn't want to know about his background and his communist leanings. They didn't care.
They don't.
They just look cool, you know? And now we're at the point in America where you don't have to hide, apparently.
Not at all.
I mean, the Democratic frontrunner, the guy who keeps winning all of the primaries, is like, yep.
Admitted.
This is it. I'm not going to back down either.
An admitted socialist.
Yep. All right.
And then he tries to pick and choose which socialism he's going to. That's not in your control. Once you start that ball rolling down the hill, there's no stopping it. You can't. Which is why nobody's ever done it right. It can't be done right. It spirals out of people.
This is the time. This one will work.
There's a few Democrats apparently that are hoping Obama's going to up and stop. I don't even mean really. Not only is stopping the Vermont Democrat socialist going to be very difficult, the time may have already passed when it was even possible. If no one drops out by Super Tuesday, Dan Pfeiffer said on Sunday, is it even possible to stop Bernie Sanders? I don't believe it is, he said. And, I mean, if there's a way to stop him, I don't know who's going to do it. The only one with the clout probably is Obama. But does he have the will? I mean, Barack Obama is himself a Marxist.
I know. That's what I was thinking. He's probably rooting for him secretly.
Why would he care? Unless he just dislikes him or he thinks he can't beat Trump. That would be the only reason, because I think ideologically they're perfectly aligned.
Okay, here's my angle on how Obama gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Obama wants to be a Supreme Court justice, yeah?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I've heard he would love to be appointed to that. He knows Bernie's probably not going to appoint him because of... Oh, man, forget it. I don't have a theory. Forget it. I got nothing. Oh, like you said, why Obama is...
Why would he even be inclined to stop Bernie Sanders?
Probably rooting for him.
I mean, he wanted single-payer health care just like Sanders did. And people, oh, no, he just wanted Obamacare. He just wanted Obamacare. Did he?
A single-payer health care plan. Universal health care plan.
Right.
That's what I'd like to see.
That's what you'd like to see.
All of you know, we may not get there immediately. Because first we've got to take back the White House, and we've got to take back the Senate, and we've got to take back the House.
Okay. So then they did that, and he got the first step accomplished. Oh, they took back the House, they took back the Senate, they took back the presidency, and then they got the precursor to single payer done in Obamacare. And he admitted right there that his ultimate goal was universal health care. I mean, he's just as socialist as Bernie Sanders is. I mean, he says a lot of the same kind of things.
That we're greater together than we are on our own.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that this country succeeds when everyone gets a fair shot.
Me too, yeah.
When everyone does their share. Everyone plays by the rules.
It's so amazing what he says, because he outlines that the rich don't play they don't get the same rules as everybody else. They have to do more. They have to pay a higher percentage, which is ridiculous, because if you had a flat tax, the rich still pay more. I don't know if you're aware of that. 10% of $1 million is more than 10% of $30,000. So, this doesn't make any sense. And is he a Marxist?
When you spread the wealth around, it's good for everyone.
He thinks when you spread the wealth around, when you redistribute wealth, it's good for everyone. There's no way Barack Obama is alarmed by Bernie Sanders' politics. There is no way. So if the Democrats are thinking he's going to ride in on his white horse and save the day and say, hey, look, my guy is Joe Biden, that's not going to happen.
Well, but Biden doesn't want his endorsement, and
Yeah, that's
obviously going to preclude.
That's true, because
why didn't President Obama endorse?
I asked President Obama not to endorse.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't want to. Whoever wins this nomination should win it on their own merits.
Okay.
I just
he
love
asked
that.
him not to.
I love that.
I do too. It's one of my favorites.
I love that when my oldest daughter said, "Why did Joe Biden not want his endorsement?" That's what we call a lie, Aslan? Okay.
No, because it was in the interest of fairness, tell Aslan. It was in the interest of fairness.
No, see, that's Joe Biden not getting the endorsement and then lying about that.
I mean, you can't hear that enough.
Why didn't President Obama endorse?
I asked President Obama not to endorse. And he doesn't want to. Whoever wins this nomination should win it on their own merits.
Right, yeah.
Merits. Oh, yeah, you're in the wrong party if you're wanting something on merits. Come on, Joe.
I would have loved to have been there for that conversation. Joe, I'd like to endorse you. No.
Whoa, no.
Barack, please.
Come
don't.
on, man.
No, I can't have that. I can't ask you to do that. In fact, I have to ask you not to do that. Please don't do that. I got to win this on my own merits. Well, okay. All right. You feel strongly about it.
I mean, you sure, Joe?
I think at some point you got enough votes. You please don't. No, I don't. No, I don't want that endorsement. That's so great. And doesn't that tell you a lot about their relationship?
Oh,
too?
yeah. They
don't like each other.
It was
well, Joe likes him. It's not reciprocated.
It was definitely a vice president out of convenience for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Just pick who I think can help me win, and then we're good.
Very weird. All right. 888-900-3393. Also, Senator Bernie Sanders blasted the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, that's AIPAC, in a statement confirming he will not attend the pro-Israel organization's annual conference. Okay. Sanders tweeted that he would not attend the conference due to AIPAC's connection to, quote, leaders who express bigotry and oppose basic Palestinian rights. You got to be kidding me.
Boy, you know Israel is pulling for Trump in November.
Oh.
If it's Trump versus Sanders,
I'm thinking
especially
openly.
Oh.
The Israeli people have the right to live in peace and security.
Okay.
So do the Palestinian people.
Oh, yeah.
I remain concerned about the platform AIPAC provides for leaders who express bigotry and oppose basic Palestinian rights. Like what? For that reason, I will not attend their conference. The Palestinians oppose the very existence of Israel, and you're siding with them.
I mean, you Israel defenders always seem to bring that up. You know, my goodness, can't you? You're hung up on this whole.
We're that picky.
They don't want you to exist.
I know. They're willing to kill you and exterminate you.
I got it. Get over it. Come on, man. Let's
give them a state anyway.
Right. Let's find places we do agree.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you keep going to the well of they don't want you to exist, and that just stops any progress we can make together.
That's how picky I am. Actually, yeah, I draw the line there. When you don't want Israel to exist, that's where I say, okay, you're not a serious player. Sanders, by the way, who is Jewish, he's what is called a what did they call him in that article?
Was it secular Jew?
Secular Jew. Yeah. I guess that means he's a not practicing Jew.
Just kind of goes with the culture, but not the religious aspect.
Yes. He's criticized both AIPAC and Netanyahu and has referred to Netanyahu's government as a right-wing racist government. Jeez, I can't stand this guy. I am not anti-Israel. Oh, yes, you are. But the fact of the matter is, Netanyahu is a right-wing politician who I think is treating the Palestinian people extremely unfairly. Okay. What I believe is not radical. I just believe that the United States should deal with the Middle East on a level playing field basis. It's just foolhardy. I mean, you see one side who believes the other side should not exist, and we're supposed to treat them equally.
Right.
No. I'm sorry, I can't.
Asinine.
They teach their children to hate Israel and Israelis and Jews. Americans, for that matter. Remember when they were handing out candy and cigars on 9/11? That was in the Palestinian territory. That wasn't in New Jersey, like President Trump thought it was. There might have been, a smattering of that happening there. But it happened on a widespread basis in the Palestinian territories.
Yep.
Where they celebrated 3,000 people being killed on 9/11. I'm sorry, I don't relate to that stuff. We've got all our commonality is with Israel. AIPAC officials responded on Sunday to Sanders' remarks, pointing out that he had never attended the conference in the past and decrying the odious accusations as truly shameful. So at least, I mean, I hope they can see the light here and understand that it's not the Democrats who are their friends. It's going to be this president, Donald J. Trump, who has been more friendly to Israel than anybody in American history, with the possible exception of Harry Truman.
That was all I was thinking. Yep. Especially in the Oval Office.
Right. I mean, he has done such brave work where Israel is concerned that nobody else did. Not Ronald Reagan, not George W. Bush. Nobody did the things this president has done for Israel. I just hope they recognize that.
Things under the radar.
Yeah.
I still can't get over him going after Ireland for banning products that were made in Israel. He's like, oh, yeah? I'm about to ban some funds going to Ireland.
Amazing. 888-900-3393. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Keith's missing laugh track tweets, this trip to India certainly fed President Trump's fire-breathing dragon of an ego enough to get him ready to debate Bernie the Communist. Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Yeah. He actually claimed between the airport and the venue, 7 million people were going to show up for him.
And I don't know how many people ended up showing up for him. Do you want to... Maybe we can get to that video later, but there was, I mean,
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Here's some of the
Every
highlights.
street. Yeah.
These are basically the highlights from the trip, right?
Yeah.
The true strength of India is found in
Everywhere.
the soul
Look at the
and
crowds,
the spirit
man.
of the Indian people.
Wow.
The story of the Indian nation is a tale of astounding progress, a miracle of democracy, extraordinary diversity, and above all, a strong and noble people. This nation is blessed with many treasures. It is the home to some of the most cherished cultural heritage anywhere on earth. Indians and Americans are always striving to be greater. Our people are always seeking to be better. And so our nations have become thriving centers of culture and commerce and civilization, giving light and
Look at that,
vitality
man. What
to
a
all
crowd.
of the world. The First Lady and I have just traveled 8,000 miles around the globe to deliver a message. America will always be faithful and loyal friends to the Indian people.
I mean, it might not have been 7 million, but it was a lot of people that showed up for him.
Yeah,
That's incredible in a foreign country.
Yeah, especially on the road as they were making their way to the stadium. I mean, the crowds were just
gigantic,
shoulder to shoulder.
Wow, yeah.
And this just goes on and on.
Mile after mile.
Yeah.
It's that kind of crowd and bigger.
Yep.
So I don't know how many people that represents, but it's a lot.
It's a street party, man. And
just at the stadium, there were over 110,000 people. So that's quite a turnout.
Continued nonstop. So maybe there were 7 million people.
It's interesting. Why are they so in love with him? I mean, are they conservative? Are they like Republican-leaning type of people? I know it's a whole different scale in Europe and Asia, but the other thing is, India is almost tied with China now for population, for the biggest population on Earth. China has 1.38 billion-ish, and China has 1.33 billion-ish. It's like tens of millions. It's 30 million away or something, 40 million.
I mean, it's right there. Yeah, it's part of the reason I say they're such an important ally.
Yeah, definitely.
If the next world war comes, they've got a huge population. They're a nuclear power. They're strategically located near China and Russia. They obviously love us.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I just, when you hear about the president of the United States taking a foreign trip, it's usually just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like people are protesting. They're throwing stuff at him.
Our closest allies that we thought, like in Europe or something like that.
They loved him.
So I did not see this coming. So this is really great to see.
That's cool. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice change, isn't it?
Yeah. Feels good to be loved, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, after all we do, we usually get spit on for it. Not in India. So that's really cool. Just 2 Muck and Fudge tweets. I just had some General Tso's lab animal on lo mein last night. Oh, but that was good.
I don't bet it was.
Princess of Hugs, Bernie and Obama may say all the same things, but does Obama have an awesome music album describing what he saw? No, he doesn't.
No.
You're exactly right. Bernie's got him there. I mean, we all know that Bernie can outdo Obama when it comes to
from his Six Flags album that he cut there.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could possibly, find it.
Yeah, if you could,
it would be
but,
helpful, but I can't seem.
Oh shoot! The stars are aligned, and they're saying no Bernie singing.
Dang it! Oh, you know why? Because
why?
Used the wrong.
Oh, you're on the wrong page.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong page.
See, that's a complicated piece of machinery over there. People don't realize it's got there's a lot more to it than it appears.
Right.
Here we go. It's gonna be Bernie Sanders singing someday. "This land is your land. This land is my land."
Perhaps
on the next episode of Pat Gray Unleashed.
You just have to be patient. That's all.
I went walking on that ribbon of highway.
Right.
I saw above me. That endless skyway.
Endless skyway. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Bernie. Yeah, was that worth it? You bet. Oh, you bet that was worth it. Okay.
So debate tonight. Aren't you excited?
That's right.
Another one, because
last week was fun.
We just can't
I'll say
get
that.
enough.
I'll say last week was fun.
If this is going to be another Rumble like that, sign me up.
Especially if they're saying the kinds of things we'd be saying to them. I love that. I love that. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen at a Democrat debate where they use kind of the same language as Republicans would have or conservatives would have used against them, because they're desperate at this point. And for the non-socialists, they're actually calling out the socialists on stage, and they're calling out the hypocrisy of what they see in these socialists, like 3 homes from Bernie Sanders, and a guy who talks about income inequality all the time and laments how the rich don't pay their fair share. Shut up. Why don't you look inside yourself for a change? Be nice.
Tom Steyer kind of fired a salvo, so he was basically saying, I'm a capitalist, so he's going to be on the stage tonight. And is this his second trip? Because I think the last time he was a fanboy.
He's been on a couple times.
He was a fanboy for Bernie, trying to get some attention at the end. Remember that one?
This will be the first one with him and with both billionaires, right? Because is Mike in this too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Is he?
Is he not? If he's not, it's not going to be as fun, because that's where most of the ire was directed, and then he had to defend himself and fire back at him.
Yeah, so everybody but Tulsi will be on the stage
Tulsi
tonight.
Had a rough time in Nevada. Did you see? She got like 0% of the vote, and literally 35 votes in the state.
Wait,
35.
What?
Not 35,000, not 3,500.
Not 35.
35 votes.
And if you ever want to know the current state or the base of the Democrat Party, right there, what you just said. Tulsi Gabbard got 35 votes in the caucus.
Yeah.
Come on.
Crazy. I mean, they're just too extreme.
Leaning left.
So far that they're going to fall over. I mean, it's...
Just don't take the rest of us with you.
Please. By all that is holy.
America, let's put this this socialist fire out, and then we'll have another 4 years of having to wait until the next go-around. Because they're just going to keep nominating leftists. They're not going to learn their lesson.
Yeah, right.
That's their base now. That is their identity, is sliding leftward.
Yeah, I think the Democrats have lost their party to socialism. Glenn has talked often about how he tried to tell him in 2004. Was it 2004 or 2006 when Michael Moore was in the box? He was in the presidential box for, I think, the State of the Union address, and they had him in there. And he is a socialist, and he is a radical. And, it was like, okay, are we using him or is he using us? And it turned out the other way around. He was using them. He's the infection. He and Bernie Sanders and AOC are the infection in the Democrat Party that has spread all the way through the body of the Democrats. And now it may be too late. So, yeah, I think they're all going to be radicals from now on. You look at all the stars in the party: Sanders, Warren, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, on and on and on, and they're all radicals. By the way, did we mention, we did mention Ilhan Omar married her brother, right? I think we did talk about that a little bit the other day.
Quite so.
Yeah, Ilhan Omar married her brother. And I'm just thinking maybe somebody might want to look into it. Because one of her friends has confirmed that Ilhan Omar married her brother. And the reason she married her brother is not because of some weird sexual fetish. It's because...
That we know of.
That we know of. She already had a husband. But she married him to keep him in this country. It was an illegal immigration situation. And so she should be impeached from office. There's also a lot of campaign finance problems. So maybe somebody might want to look into Ilhan Omar, who married her brother. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah.
It's a little safety tip for you.
Yeah.
888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. And as we mentioned, I think just briefly last hour, if you missed it, Harvey Weinstein has been convicted on a couple of counts and will be apparently going to prison. Well, he already went to prison. I think they sent him directly to prison.
Well, with a pit stop at the hospital because he was having all those health issues.
Oh, the horrible chest pain that he had.
Right. I got to make a stop here and maybe I can escape. I mean, somebody check on my heart.
There's no escape for Harvey Weinstein. Look, he's on a walker. He could barely move, that guy. He's just a broken shell of a man. That's all he is. Good actor. Better actor than I thought he'd be.
Yeah.
You know, that whole walker thing, we know it's
maybe that's why he's in that
so
business, because he's so good at acting.
Yeah. And he said what that business is all about. It's about raping each other, and that's what they do. So, and every once in a while they take a night off from that.
Wait.
And then they honor each other.
Is that a direct quote?
And then the next day they go back to raping each other. Well,
that's what this business is all about?
He told
raping each other?
He told Annabella Sciorra, according to her, that having sex with him is just what this industry does.
Whoa.
So,
okay.
Yeah, he kind of admitted that it's about raping each other.
Ugh.
Sick, isn't it? I mean, everything you believe about Hollywood, and then some, turns out to be the case. And then finally, somebody's going to be held accountable for that.
And they want us to listen to them and take them seriously. And okay.
Yeah. 888-900-3393. You know, there is some good news about what's happening in this country right now, and that again you can attribute to Donald J. Trump. President Trump, when he ticks off his accomplishments since taking office, he frequently mentions his aggressive makeover of a key sector of the federal judiciary, the Circuit Court of Appeals, where he has appointed 51 judges to lifetime jobs in 3 years. Now, that includes the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has been so liberal for so long. And he has changed the very face of that court.
I mean, seriously, do you remember during the primary, a lot of his supporters were saying, look, it's about the judges. We got to get Trump in there. He's gonna appoint conservative judges. Just trust us on this.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, this is gonna be great. Everybody's gonna love his judge. Now, I don't know about you, but if suddenly I woke up and I was president of the United States and someone said, man, we've got all these judgeships to fill around the country, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I've got this friend who's pretty smart. Because I'm sorry that I don't keep up with judges, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whoever has been in charge of putting names in front of this president, they've done a stellar job, and it has really, really paid off more than you would ever imagine in your wildest dreams.
And the reason it's changed the face so much of the Ninth Circuit is because he's been able to replace 10 judges on that court. 10! How great is that? So more than a third of its active judges, compared with 7 appointed by President Obama over 8 years. Trump has effectively flipped the court, according to Judge Milan D. Smith, an appointee of President George W. Bush. It's about time.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel good?
Oh, it's so great. And it's been so long coming. And finally.
And it's not only in decisions and stuff. Like that article goes on to talk about like everyday decisions that are being affected because as far as Trump's, I forget what the percentage is, but Trump's appointees are heavily involved. I think it was like 10 out of 13. I don't know what it was. But anyhow, there's a lot going on there, and there's a huge impact. And it's even shaking the court, the traditions and stuff. They're coming in there and screwing up with whatever. I know the traditions of the Ninth Circuit, so I'm kind of happy that everything is getting jostled over there.
Absolutely. Of the senior judges who will be deciding cases on the merits panel,
yeah.
reading briefs and issuing rulings, 10 are Republicans. Only 3 are Democrat appointees. 10-3. Now, they still hold the majority of active judges, 16-13, but this is as far as the merits panel is concerned.
Yeah, they decide what gets put in front of them.
Right. Right. It's 10-3 Republican appointees.
Love it.
You will see a sea change in the Ninth Circuit Court on day-to-day decisions. The biggest change will come in controversial cases that test the constitutionality of laws and the legal ability of presidents to establish contentious new rules. The Ninth Circuit is weighing challenges to Trump on a wide array of issues, from immigration to reproductive rights. And the rightward tilt is likely to make it easier for the president to prevail.
Bring it on.
I mean, please. Wouldn't that be great if we make some inroads on reproductive rights? That would be fantastic. Do you know the dry dog food has to have a 2 to 3 year shelf life? I don't know why. It just does. I mean, you can't, 6 months seems sufficient to me. If you can't sell it in 6 months, you might as well Get rid of it. I frankly don't want to feed my dog something that's been sitting on a shelf for 3 stinking years. But because of that process, they have to kill all of the live nutrients, the probiotics, enzymes, vitamins, and healthy microbacteria. So it all goes away. The only way to put that back into your dog's diet, rough greens. Love this stuff. Rough Greens VitaSmart. It's not dog food. It is a supplement that you sprinkle on top, mix it in. If your dog is like mine, they're going to love it, love the taste, and it just makes them healthier. You're going to find that your dog comes back to life. If they've been a little lethargic and sluggish over the last little while, this could help revive them. Rough Greens VitaSmart. It will make your dog's food better. If you want your dog to thrive again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze. Or just call 833-MY-DOG-33. Just looking at a list of Bernie Sanders' policies. It is unbelievable. End of our country. Seriously. And that's not hyperbole. I really strongly believe be the end of the country as we know it. If he is elected president, it just, please, by all that is holy, it can't happen. Let's see. Got some tweets here. Real Tyler Morgan tweets, wait, if next week is Pat Gray New Year, then Merry Christmas.
Sorry, I'm just getting ready over here.
Flemleski for Congress. Look, Fat, it's Mardi Gras. And 1 week till Pat Gray New Year.
Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, we're going to party in here.
Don't Ban Shan tweets, I never thought anything would make me long for the good old days of Beto's guitar solos.
Oh, no.
But that Bernie song has definitely done it. Well, I'm happy to oblige by popular demand.
Oh, no.
By request on the all-request lunch hour, everybody. Good morning.
No.
Here's that classic, the classic guitar stylings of Beto O'Rourke. Kick it one time, Beto.
Bob, I've been afraid
It's going to be over. It's just the beginning. He's about to kick out the jams any second now. And then you're going to hear some rock and roll. Like right now. Powerful stuff, man. So there you go. And don't forget tonight at 7 o'clock, we're gonna get the lead out.
Oh,
An hour full of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, cool.
Gonna play the Physical Graffiti album, start to finish. Tonight.
Oh, nice.
Get the lead out, 7 p.m.
Physical Graffiti. That's good.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
What is When the Levee Breaks? What album's that on?
I don't know.
Well, I want that one. Can I make a request?
It might be on Physical Graffiti. Look it up.
Is it too soon to make my request? Like, when can people start calling with their request?
That's a good question. And one of our most popular questions, too, is when can I start calling for A, the All Request Lunch Hour, and B, the request for, Led Zeppelin songs when we get the lead out at 7.
Okay, 7 o'clock. Now, what time?
You can start calling about 5 to 7, like 6:55 tonight. You can start calling.
But I can only make requests off of a Physical Graffiti album. Is that right?
Yeah, tonight, yes.
Okay.
We're just featuring that album.
I'm going to go with Kashmir then.
Kashmir. Oh, yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, it's going to be track 6.
Dang, good choice.
Yeah.
But
shoot.
Yeah,
when the levee breaks.
Not on that particular.
Doesn't qualify for tonight, so I'll request.
Yeah, tomorrow night. We'll get the let out again tomorrow night at 7. That's a good thing about it.
Oh, Houses of the Holy.
Okay, another good one.
Play that one? Okay.
Sure.
I'll stop talking.
Request it at 6:55 tonight.
6:55. I'm there.
All right. In the meantime, download the podcast on iTunes, Apple iTunes, iHeart, Stitcher, Spotify, any of the Google forums, everywhere, pretty much everywhere. YouTube's been shutting us down pretty regular lately.
Okay. Let's just move on. Let's move on.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. So we've got some adjustments to make there, I guess. But the whole show's available on YouTube now.
For now.
So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Also tonight, the Democrat debate.
Yes.
Kind of psyched about that after last week's knockdown drag out.
So what you do is you turn the sound down on the Democratic debate while you're listening to the All Request Physical Graffiti Hour with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, tonight's not All Request because we're just playing this Physical Graffiti album.
Okay, just straight through.
Yeah, we're just tracking the album.
Okay, I'm sorry. I keep screwing that up.
Yeah.
So what?
Tomorrow night you can request on Get the Let Out. You can request your favorite Zeppelin song.
Yeah, so the debate in South Carolina tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know? I mean, a good producer would know what channel.
Well, we know we're not dealing
or?
with that here.
Yeah. So what channel is that going to be on? Do you know?
I don't know.
Ask your producer.
Keith. Hey, Keith. What channel is it on?
That's going to be on CBS and streaming online at CBS.
Great. Okay. So one of the networks actually. Well, I guess NBC's had one, haven't they?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's 8 to 10 Eastern tonight. By the way. Good.
7 to 9. That's a little earlier than normal. I like that. I'm all about that.
That's a lifesaver.
I am all about that.
Yeah. Okay, so Nora O'Donnell and Gayle King.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Margaret Brennan. Don't know you. Major Garrett.
Okay.
And Bill Whitaker.
Former Fox News guy.
Yeah. So there you go.
Don't know that Major Garrett's super conservative, but,
no, but he does.
I think he's fair.
Ask some fair questions.
Yeah, I think he's fair.
Yep. I remember one particular instance when he went after Obama at a press conference, and I believe it was on the Iran deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he was the one who said, like, we didn't get, like, what did we get? Like, literally, what we didn't, did you even ask for the hostages?
Right, and he didn't.
And Obama was saying, look, Major, you know, with these negotiations, very delicate. And, he had no answer.
Yeah, none.
It's like, so the answer is no, you didn't even ask.
And he was very pissed off that he dared even broach the subject. Oh, sorry, Your Highness, that we've asked you a question. It's difficult for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that Americans are being held against their will in a foreign country that hates us.
Doing nothing about it.
And we can't ask a question about it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you been hearing all these ads, people running in Texas for these, virtually every, U.S. House seat or Texas legislature, and they're all saying the same thing, that I will stand with President Trump. Almost every single one of these, Republican politicians. And is it just me? I don't want you to stand with President Trump. I want you to stand for a set of conservative principles, which they used to do. They used to talk about the things that they actually stood for. And then if President Trump also stands for those principles, so be it. I mean, that's great. If not, well, you still stick to those principles. Right? I mean, that's how
about I stand with the Constitution? That would work.
Love that.
But I don't, you're right. I don't ever remember. I stand with President Bush.
And
I don't remember that.
So what happens when President Trump is gone? Then what do you stand for? You stand for nothing. We're in really big trouble after President Trump, I think, in the Republican Party. By the way, tonight, when we get the let out at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Beautiful morning for a morning show this morning. The morning.
Good morning. What's going on tonight here on The Big Frog?
Tonight on The Big Frog 109.9, the only station beyond the bandwidth on your FM radio dial. It's Get the Let Out at 7 o'clock, featuring Physical Graffiti. And we might have time enough to sneak Jamaica in there as well. It's one of my favorite all-time Zepp songs.
Yeah, for the last...
And it is pronounced, by the way, Jamaica.
Jamaica, right? Okay.
A lot of people pronounce that every which way. Yeah. Dire Maker.
Yeah, I used to say Dire Maker.
Dire Maker. It's Jamaica. Okay. I wish we had the internet when I was in music radio, because I just heard the explanation from I don't know, Jimmy Page or Robert Plant, one of the two. Saw an interview with him online, and they had some inside joke when the band took a vacation or something and went to Jamaica, and they called it Jamaica, because it's saying Jamaica with an accent.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll be one of the featured songs and stories tonight on Get the Let Out, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Don't forget, everybody.
Yeah,
good morning.
We've been singing Zeppelin songs for the last half hour off the air.
Well, because of Get the Let Out.
Tonight.
On
109.9 The Big
7.
I think next time we start singing Zeppelin in here, I'm just going to hit record on my phone and then post it for everyone.
Sure. Philip Eicher tweets, Harvey Weinstein being as close to the Clintons as he was. better make sure he has good guards and the cameras are working so he doesn't get Epsteined.
For real, man?
Yeah, right?
Seriously.
That's true. They were good, close, personal friends. And as were the Obamas. The Obamas were pretty close to him, too. Michelle was at one of the events praising him.
Yeah, honoring him somewhere.
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day.
Amazing day.
Harvey.
Okay. Thank you, Harvey.
Thanks, Harvey. Yeah, thanks.
This is possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all of you should say something, not about me or about this place, but about you. All right? Everybody, we are here because of you.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse. I mean, when he laid that fat body down on women, they couldn't get away from him.
And just,
jeez,
he's a wonderful person.
Wonderful person.
That didn't age well.
Let me ask you this: if that was Melania Trump saying those words at any event, any time in the last 30 years, I don't care when it was, where it was, what kind of backlash would there be against Donald and Melania Trump right now? Can you imagine?
And just think of this.
Jeez.
This is not an exaggeration. When Melania went to speak at a hospital to help children that were ill, she was booed off the stage.
She was mocked. She was booed.
Can you imagine if she had something like this in the archives?
No. It'd be all over for her. It would. I mean, impeach the first lady. Okay, she wasn't elected to anything. I don't care. Get her out of the White House. She's scum. It would be deafening. I mean, and it would lead every newscast. But nobody cares about Michelle Obama saying that Harvey Weinstein's a wonderful person.
Rob having fun with the graphics, I see. Right there on Blaze TV, if you want to take a look there. Worst mental image, Weinstein or Jeffy? Oh, boy.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a flip of the coin.
I'm going to go Weinstein on that.
Yeah,
I'm going Weinstein.
Yeah, especially with the evidence we received from the jurors' faces. When they were looking at pictures of him. Anyhow, so Michelle Obama, praise of Weinstein. And again, this doesn't implicate them, but if we're playing by the same rules.
Yeah, right. It's just one of those things
so frustrating.
That wouldn't slide past the Trump family. We all know that. We all know it. And even the left knows it. That if this was Melania saying these kinds of things about Harvey Weinstein, it'd be over for her. Just it's ridiculous. The double standard's unreal. Let's go to Susan in Rhode Island. Hey, Susan, you're on the Blaze.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, no.
We wish you a Merry Christmas from all the Patheads. Good tidings to you wherever you are. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And the Patheads asked me to do that.
Did they? They put you.
Well, nice job on that, Susan.
And you got.
Thank you.
Did they pay you to do that? Because
no,
I mean
I'm just the nana. When the kids come to me, the nanas give in. This is what we do.
All right.
So it's Merry Christmas because we're a week out from the Pat Gray Unleashed New Year, which is next Tuesday, March 3rd, as we know.
Thank you, Susan. That was beautiful.
We're gonna celebrate.
Yeah, because is it a week from today?
It's a week from today. Yeah, March 3rd.
March 3rd's a week from today.
You act like you don't know. You've had it on your calendar forever.
I really haven't.
Yeah, and I got some fun party.
Now, for anybody who may be just joining us, this is from a January 2nd offhanded comment. Please, let's not draw out Happy New Year past today.
I don't want to be hearing somebody.
I don't want to be hearing somebody say Happy New Year on March 3rd.
And which, of course, opened up the Patheads to celebrate.
And not only did it open up March 3rd as New Year's Day, that makes today Christmas because it's a week before March 3rd. Smart Alex. Where do you get that? Where do they get that? Why?
And Michelle McDermott, Pathead, sent us a whole box of good New Year's goodies that we're gonna break out when the time's right. Like right now.
The time's not right.
No, I'm just warming up, just making sure the horn works, a little quality control.
Okay. All right, 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, our new format, I hope you're familiar with it. I hope you're okay with it because once you are on it and it's working for you and it's second nature and you don't have to worry about it anymore, it's going to be really cool. Because you can comment along with the show, right? The comments will continue throughout the show. It doesn't have to be just tweets. Now you can just put them right there on the
screen.
On the screen.
You can be a part of the show.
For all to see.
And we're still working out the bugs on the Android app.
Okay.
And log in through the browser.
On the other formats.
Roku.
If you're having any trouble, just reset your password.
Yeah, Roku's still having problems this morning. They're working on that one. So Roku and Android, we're still trying to get things working, but everything else should be in order. If you need some sort of guidance, I've posted something. You can find it at Pat's account, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, that details which individual app or format you're using and what can help you get things in working order.
iOS, Apple TV, if people are having issues, you should reinstall, and apparently it will resolve. Okay? So there you go. Amazon Fire is live. The old app will be deleted if you're unable to activate. You're using the old app. The new app is titled Blaze TV, News and Entertainment for people who love America. That's a good name for it.
I like it.
Yeah. And you can always call, too. 800-282-2788. 800-282-2788. All right?
Support at blazetv.com also works for email.
Okay. Because there aren't enough drag queen story hours, DC has created a new one.
Oh, good. Yes. We needed another one of those.
Finally. How long have we been clamoring for this?
Since
late 50s? Yes. Late 50s, I think.
Definitely. Since the last story we had, we've been saying, when's the next one?
When's the next one? And here it is. DC parents bring kids as young as 9 months old to Adams Morgan Drag Queen Story Hour.
Oh, yeah, you got to see this.
More than 50 people attended Saturday morning's Drag Queen Story Hour. Take a look. This is with Cake.
Cake? Hey, Cake. So pretty.
So
whoa.
Clap your hands.
Clap your hands.
Follow my directions.
Follow my directions. I'm Cake.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
This is the end of our civilization playing out.
Yep.
And look at these moms with these kids, 9 months old. What are you kidding me?
Why would you do this?
I mean,
why? I mean,
this
what
feels
is the
like
point
a
of that?
weird B-rate movie. No. Look at these soccer moms. Just whatever.
Hooray.
This is just grotesque, man.
Okay. That's really important for your kids to be comfortable with drag queens. I'm not sure why, but I know it's really important because it's happening everywhere. What kind of parent thinks, that's a great idea. Let's bring our 3- and 4-year-olds to the drag queen story time today.
Yeah, that's good.
Won't that be great?
No, that was good.
That's wonderful. Many of the children were held in their parents' arms, as you saw throughout the story hour, as they could not yet walk. And the toddlers at the event wobbled around in front of the stage as Cake read to them and led them in song. The drag queen started with the song, and we missed this one, I guess. The More We Get Together, encouraging parents and children to sing along.
Whoa, no thank
Cake proceeded to read the book The Snowy Day and 2 other books before leading them in the one we saw. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That's wonderful. Drag Queen Story Hour started, of course, as a niche event on the West Coast, but have spread to libraries and schools across the U.S. Why is my question. I don't understand why this is a thing.
Because somebody sat around and they said, how can we get the fastest access to kids?
Come on.
We could go into the schools. The schools will never go for that. We want to get them earlier anyway.
But
how
when
can
you're
we get to them?
When you're in charge of one of these, why do you think, hey, that looks great. Let's bring in a drag queen and have them read stories to kids. Why?
Political correctness.
Sick.
And a fear of losing your job. Because these libraries depend on public funding. And the last thing they need is a PR issue where they're hateful toward, oh my gosh, look at the hate toward people that are different than them. They don't let them into ban them from their libraries. And this is what happens right here. Your kids have this sing-along, a story time. It's insane, man.
Again,
kids.
You and I bitching about this does nothing because people just think, oh, you're haters, you're bigots, you're homophobes, you're drag queenophobes, whatever nonsense they want to throw out. We need to hear from that, from the lesbian yesterday who was talking about all of this stuff and how freaky it is and that she's not okay with it. And it just isn't okay. And we don't have to believe it's okay.
I'm not one of them. Hi, I'm Ariel. I'm a lesbian, and I don't think gender is a social construct. I don't think cis straight white men are evil. I don't believe that genital preferences are transphobic or that there are 97 genders. I don't think that male sex offenders belong in women's prisons. I don't think it's normal for people to be praised for walking around with shirts that say kill TERFs. I don't think like these people, and I no longer want to be associated with them. I've reached peak LGBT. This is my coming out video. Never in my life have I been more canceled, tortured, tormented, harassed than by members of my own community. Never have I witnessed literal mentally ill individuals who are latching themselves onto the LGBT community without actually being LGBT for the sake of oppression points, external validation, and sympathy. Never have I seen such disrespect from younger LGBT people to the older lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender advocates who have been paving the way for us for longer than we've all been alive. Never have I seen people that use the word bigot so frequently and not see the hypocrisy and irony in themselves saying it. Some of you have noticed this change coming onto my channel within the past 2 years, as I've gotten what some people would say more conservative. And yeah, I have, haven't I? Since the queer movement right now is obsessed with all these different labels, and I am a fan of labels, I wanted to share a new label of mine with you. I'm coming out. I am officially leaving the left. When it's gotten to the point where I can no longer even list LGBT or women empowerment in my Instagram and Twitter bios without people thinking I'm part of this ridiculously woke cult, when we have rules and a pecking order of who is able to speak and for how long, even about their own bodies and experiences, when we have children drag queens and think it's okay for them to perform sexually for adults, when we praise news stories like this that make absolutely no sense and do nothing for our movement or for people understanding us, when this person is praised by LGBT organizations and deemed a speaker for lesbians, and people say that straight black men are the white men of black people, and I know what they mean. I no longer wish to be a part of this. The LGBT community has become a safe haven for the mentally unstable who are not seeking help and who also aren't in any sense of the word queer. We've become so obsessed with validating everybody. How did we not see this coming? This community has become so ridiculously intolerant while preaching love that for the first time in a decade, LGBT acceptance is down. Anyone who goes against the grain and thinks for themselves is immediately outcast. That's not a community, that's a hive mind cult.
Yeah, wow, jeez. I mean, that's great. And she can say it, I guess. I don't know if anybody's going to listen, because she just said she's leaving the left, so, and she's getting all kinds of hate too, so.
Yeah, she can say it until they go after her.
I mean, there's a lot. There's so much she brought up. It's impossible to address it all, but one of the things I saw that she was talking about that I've never heard of, tranpa. I guess a grandpa who's trans.
What? I missed that.
Yeah, tranpa. That's a thing.
Okay,
that's a thing.
I need a quiet room, preferably padded.
I know.
With no windows, and I need it now. Oh, hang on. I got to make sure that I...
That's great. Wow.
Proper supplies.
How proud you must be. Your whole family's got to be proud of that.
Tranpa.
Hey, Tranpa. Yeah. Thank you for that title. That's really cool. Also, the 9-year-old at the strip club being treated as a sexual object. She broached that subject. That is just criminal. Seriously,
why is that okay?
Criminal and child abuse.
Why
it's
is
not
that okay?
It's not okay.
Because it would be a
huge
child story
abuse.
if a straight male took, gosh, I don't even
a child to a strip club.
Thank you.
Yeah,
just take it
oh
from
my
here.
gosh.
Ugh.
Yeah, a straight male brings his male child who's 9 years old to a strip club and sits him in front of the stripper. You don't think anybody would say anything about that?
Or takes
That's
his
unreal.
Or takes his 9-year-old daughter
to strip
and parades them on the stage.
Crazy.
This is the same thing.
It's crazy. I mean,
help, aliens, send help.
Could this be why there's huge swarms of locusts plaguing the planet right now? Could this be part of it?
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a heck of a segue.
I don't know.
I don't know that you're going to get that tonight when we get the let out on 109.9 The Big Frog.
No.
But, that's
no,
why
we won't be talking about this tonight on Get the Let Out. I promise.
Tonight it's just...
it's just sheer Zeppelin heaven.
Yeah.
Zepp heaven. That's all it is.
Zepp heaven. Oh, we need a show like that. I like this. Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, huge swarm of locusts. You've heard about these swarms. It's so bad in Bahrain, it brought traffic to a standstill. First of all, you could barely see through the cloud of bugs. And then secondly,
gross.
People were stopping because they were in awe. They were marveling at this spectacle. But they're afraid to get out of their car for being eaten alive by these locusts.
Plus, these things got to be able to crawl through the grill and up in the... so nasty.
I read over the weekend that one swarm is so big that they believe that there's 360 billion in that swarm. 360 billion locusts.
Alfred Hitchcock, you missed one.
I can't get my head around that. That is, you got to believe that's Egypt plague size, right? That's biblical plague.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with any of the degradation going on in our libraries and whatnot.
No.
Not that that's degradation. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what's wrong with a good drag queen reading stories to your children? It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, do you have a problem with reading to children?
No, I don't. We've always heard, have we not? Because reading is fundamental.
Reading is riff. Thank you.
Who says it can't be done by a licensed drag queen person?
I mean, Snowy Day is a great book, but don't just take my word for it.
Take the drag queen's word for it. You do? Are you familiar with Snowy Day?
No, I was I was just playing off of Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton. You know.
Oh yeah. One of my favorites.
Take my word for it. And then the kid does now the drag queen does the book review for your children on public television. Oh, give it about tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll probably see that happening.
Yeah.
And
you remember that super scary one that was wearing the horns? I think that one was in New York. They were wearing the horns. I mean, how is that good for your kids? How is it good? I mean, even if you don't care about drag queens and you think it's fine, do you really want to explain all that to your 5-year-old, to your 4-year-old, to your 3-year-old? I don't.
If there is a parent out there that is even just a little bit of you is considering taking your child to one of these events, first of all, you should be committed. But secondly, ask yourself, could there possibly be some agenda in play besides just reading Snowy Day to your kid? Anything else? Any other agenda? Maybe they want to, I don't know, overly sexualize your kid at this young age and draw them into their lifestyle? Any chance that that's a possibility?
And fortunately, we have some sane people with alternative lifestyles, like this lesbian who came out. And there's been others who have come out and spoken out, gays, lesbians, people who are normal, in the LGBTQIA2+ community, who say, this is really, really bad. This is damaging. What are you doing? Stop it.
Seriously.
Okay, can we get a grip on ourselves?
Hook me up with a padded room.
At least the people, like the lesbian, is making her mind up as an adult of the kind of lifestyle she wants to live. And she's not trying to force it down some child's throat. She's leaving that to the parents, the raising and rearing of a child to their parents. She's not trying to do it.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the solution is a padded room with Sports Center playing around the clock.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
And not the politicized Sports Center, please.
Yeah, fortunately, their new president has said no.
Yeah.
He supposedly put the kibosh on the political talk.
So that's cool. I just need sports networks and a padded room and some Basic 4, and then I will leave the rest of you alone.
Some Basic 4?
Yeah, the cereal, man. Of course.
Oh, okay.
That's what I live off of. That's all I need. I need Basic 4, all my sports teams, access to them, and a padded room.
Okay.
And
I'm good with that.
A liquor cabinet.
You can have that as far as I'm concerned.
Liquor cabinet. So that's 4. So I have very few demands.
By the way, speaking of socialism, as we were earlier this morning, the board of directors of Nicaragua's Manawaniarawas oldest newspaper, sat down in January to discuss the future because it looked kind of bleak. Like many print publications in the digital age, La Prensa have been struggling for years amid declining advertising revenue. But the Managua Nicaragua-based newspaper faced another more immediate challenge. For more than a year, President Daniel Ortega had barred La Prensa from accessing two of its most essential ingredients.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Ink and newsprint.
Wait, what city does La Prensa operate out of?
Managua, Nicaragua.
Thank you.
The government did not explain why it was holding up roughly $500,000 of supplies in customs, but its actions were widely viewed as retaliation for La Prensa's coverage of anti-government protests that erupted in 2018 and were brutally repressed by police. And so La Prensa actually criticized the government. How dare you? So now they've been denied ink and newsprint. Not a problem in Managua, Nicaragua. So since then, the government's waged war against the Nicaraguan press, harassing, arresting, sometimes torturing journalists. The blockade on newsprint and ink had already forced the country's only other daily paper to close its doors, and now La Prensa faces the same fate.
Wow.
This is what socialism brings you. You can't just say, "Nah, we're going to take the really good things, and that's all we're going to do." Why? Because socialism doesn't work, and when people start to notice that, they're shut down and oppressed. You've got to suppress them. Otherwise, people will demand that you go back to what really worked. Capitalism. And socialists can't have that. Because, man, they finally got their socialist nirvana. They're not going to give it up now. So the oppression occurs. According to the editor of the Managua Nicaraguan La Prensa, they are slowly strangling us, said Edward Enriquez. And it's a catastrophe, they agreed. So, good luck. I mean, you know, without newsprint, without the paper and the ink, not sure how you run a newspaper, but... And nobody in Managua, Nicaragua, very few have access to the internet version. So where do you go? I don't know. Out of business. Welcome to socialism.
Yeah,
you love it, right?
Yeah, it's a great world. We've got the swarms of locusts. We've got the newspapers banned. We've got drag queens
in libraries
reading stories to your children.
Love it.
We got a socialist.
About to become president or
get the nomination.
Close.
Be one of the final two. Anyway, happy Tuesday, everybody. Don't get coronavirus.